Lies are as old as humanity. From the deserts of Arabia to the courts of Europe, people have always asked, how do I know when someone is lying? Words may deceive, but the body struggles to hide the truth. This episode is not about guesswork. It's about science, it's about observation, and it's about wisdom passed down for centuries. By the end of this episode, you will know how to detect lies, not by magic, but by reading the silent signals written on the face, hands, voice, and posture, because the liar's greatest weakness is the body itself.
Let's delve into the psychology of lying, exploring why the truth often manages to surface despite our best efforts to conceal it. The act of lying involves a complex cognitive process, frequently characterized as a state where the brain experiences cognitive overload. In essence, the brain is tasked with concealing the actual truth, crafting a believable alternative narrative, and regulating bodily reactions. This mental strain results in subtle slips, such as a slight twitch or a momentary stutter. Research indicates liars pause longer, voices rise, and stories lack detail. Ancient Arabs noted liars' eyes betray them. Bedouin elders assessed honesty through body language. Lying is a battle between control and resistance. Microexpressions are subtle facial movements, initially identified by the psychologist Paul Ekman. These expressions are involuntary flashes of true emotion, like anger, fear, or sadness, that last milliseconds. When someone lies, their face often betrays them through pressed lips, indicating emotional suppression. A clenched jaw sometimes reveals underlying anger or significant stress. A pan-am smile, which is a fake smile, typically lacks genuine joy. Rapid blinking or consistently avoiding direct eye contact often signals underlying stress. We also look for microfear, which is a brief widening of the eyes. Consider Bill Clinton. His pressed lips hinted at emotional suppression. The human face can briefly slip, potentially revealing the hidden truth. The body often reveals what words try to conceal. Consider hands and gestures. Self-soothing actions like touching the face, neck, or ears can signal discomfort. Excessive hand movements might be an attempt to overcompensate, while hidden hands suggest withdrawal. Posture also speaks volumes. Shifting weight, feet pointing towards an exit, or crossed arms can all indicate unease or defensiveness. Voice and speech patterns offer further clues. Repeating phrases, increased use of fillers like or overly rehearsed sentences can betray deception. As ancient Arab wisdom states, the liar's tongue is sweet, but his hands betray him. Imagine a suspect in an interrogation room, calmly denying everything, yet their feet are tapping nervously. This contradiction highlights a crucial point. When words and body conflict, always trust the body. It often holds the hidden truth. Many lies we encounter are social, not criminal. Think of phrases like, I'm fine, I'll call you, or I love the gift. These are often polite deceptions. How do we spot them? Look for mismatched signals. Someone saying, I'm fine, with slumped shoulders reveals discomfort. Pay attention to tone versus words. Cheerful words delivered with a flat, unenthusiastic voice are a red flag. Also, observe smile mismatch. A mouth smiles, but the eyes remain cold and unengaged. Consider Lance Armstrong's doping denials. His polished words were contradicted by classic stress signals, darting eyes, pressed lips, and a constantly shifting body. These nonverbal cues betrayed his true state. Even polite lies leave subtle footprints. The body always tells the hidden truth. No single cue definitively signals deception. Instead, we must look for clusters of nonverbal behaviors. First, establish a baseline behavior for the individual. How do they typically act when relaxed? Deviations from this baseline, especially when multiple cues appear together, are highly significant. Consider clusters like self-soothing gestures, touching the neck, rubbing arms, or fidgeting. Observe microexpressions, fleeting facial expressions that betray true emotion. Pay attention to vocal shifts, changes in pitch, hesitations, or stutters. Imagine a suspect in an interrogation. Their words deny guilt, but a cluster of behaviors emerges. repeated throat clearing, avoiding eye contact, and slight shoulder shrugs. These combined signals suggest a hidden truth. Trust the body when words and actions conflict.
Donald Trump often presses lips tightly when challenged, a micro sign of frustration. Amber Heard trial polished testimony but frequent gaze aversion and facial leakage of contempt. Shakira interviews opposite case, congruent expressions, genuine smiles, eye sparkle, authenticity flows. Contrast is key, liars show discord, truth tellers show harmony.
The liar builds a wall of words, but the body opens a window. You now know how to detect lies. The twitch of the lips, the flicker of fear in the eyes, the restless hands, the pause before the words. The next time someone lies to you, don't just listen to the words. Listen to the silence. Watch the signals. In our next episode, we move from lies to fire itself. How to recognize anger. Because anger is the emotion that refuses to stay hidden.